Got an urgent update in the search for 9-year-old Melody Buzzard. Several pieces of information that seem to put her in the location of the state of Utah. Melody's mom, Ashlee Buzzard, was released from jail last night with a GPS monitor. We got this video of her getting out of jail. And the weird thing was, none of this was for a charge connected to Melody's disappearance, but for a bizarre and unrelated count of false imprisonment. And it was a charge that stemmed from a man named Tyler Brewer. Mr. Brewer says Ashlee was a friend of his and pulled a box cutter knife out on him and blocked him from leaving her home. Apparently, after she had shared some information about Melody's whereabouts that she wished she hadn't shared, she became unreasonable. Tyler Brewer says that happened. So Ashlee apparently had told him, Mr. Brewer, that Melody was, quote, dropped off in Utah, and even named the person with whom she left little Melody. Wow. Tonight, that lead may be driving new activity on the ground, even though Tyler says he's not sure if she was even telling the truth because of her mental health. But we already knew that the last known sighting of Melody was near the Colorado-Utah border on October 9th. But now we know why police have said that. And there are several reasons. KUTV is reporting that surveillance video shows Ashlee's rental car passing right through an intersection in that area. So snap picture. And then there's an employee at a gas station in Junction, Utah, not far away, just off of the US 89 highway, says that she is certain that Ashlee Buzzard walked in that day to her gas station about 5 p.m. wearing that now infamous curly blonde wig. The attendant told the local news station that the encounter was, quote, really weird, saying, quote, she just opened the door, poked her head in, and asked if we knew that we had a bunch of kittens outside, and then she was gone, end quote. But then there's this other key detail. The attendant says that Ashlee got into a car with a woman with purple hair, late 20s to mid 30s. What? Could that have been Melody just looking older in a purple wig? Maybe. Or could it have been somebody involved in Melody's disappearance? And that wasn't the only lead popping up along that route. 20 minutes south of that gas station, the owner of the Bear Valley County store says the FBI showed up on October 25th after tracking what they believed was Ashlee's phone to a cell tower at the intersection of SR 20 and US 89 beside their store. The owner says that the FBI agents wanted their video footage. Sadly, as is often the case, the store only saves video for 2 weeks before it's gone, and the date they were looking for was past the 2-week mark. Still, another store manager says that agents told her they think Ashlee used cash most of the way along the route that she took, which would leave fewer digital breadcrumbs and a trail that is turning colder by the hour. But when you look at these new details alongside what we already know, a multi-state road trip in a rental car, returning without Melody October 10th, swapping out the license plates at least twice while en route, and swapping out the wigs that she and Melody were wearing on that trip, it's looking more and more likely that the missing girl could be in Utah. I'm joined now by Jason Jensen. He's a private eye in Utah with over 20 years of experience who's been following this case very closely. Jason, thanks for being here tonight. Let me ask you this. As a private eye, you see things differently than a lot of us do. Is there something that jumps out to you about the list of everything that I just laid out regarding this Utah trip?
Very fascinating, Ashlee, and I think you did a great job spelling it out for us. And the thing that really stands out to me is the timeline that you narrated there is, if she's spotted there in Utah near Junction having this conversation with gas station attendants and then is back on the 10th, it takes a good 10 hours, 11 hours to make that trek. So wherever this exchange or whatever happened to Melody is really close in that proximity within a couple hours at best.
So I want to let our audience know that because of the work you do, you were able to get the license plate of the rental car and then find that car and get a photograph of it. And I think we've got the photographs. Let me ask my control room to pop that car up on the screen. This would be the first time that I've seen any visual representation of this vehicle. This is the exact car, Jason?
That is the exact car. As you can see, that's the license plate that they've shared with the media. So this isn't a facsimile with the plate number superimposed. That is actually the car. So if there was damage, you'd see it. That's where it advantages us to actually see the vehicle. So you know which vehicle, model it is and what it looks like, and if there's any damage, kind of rims they have. So it's very helpful to find a vehicle when it's involved in a missing person case or a cold case, so that people, when you share it with the public, they can see, what we know, and maybe they can recall something unique about the trip and unique about the vehicle and call the attention to law enforcement.
So frustrating, though, because as I look at that car, although I'm sort of transfixed by finally seeing this vehicle, I also feel like it's so nondescript that I can't imagine anybody even remembering it. Even so, it's on the screen. If you have seen this vehicle, if there's anything about this vehicle that stands out to you, especially along the route that we've been telling you, Colorado-Utah border for sure, around Junction. But gosh, Jason, that's a tough one. A white Chevy Malibu, there have got to be just thousands and thousands of them on the road.
That is one of the problems, but what's unique about it is it's got California tags, or if there was a swap with New York tags seen in a rural area of Utah, it's going to stand out.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Folks from New York and California, not often just scooting through in a Chevy Malibu. Not to say they don't, but it's just a little more unusual. So it's a good point. Okay, I've got to ask you. Go ahead.
Especially off the beaten track, because normally anyone traveling through Utah from California to Colorado is going to take the route I-50 north to Cove Fort and then travel east on I-70. So she took herself off the main corridor through Mountain Views, a scenic byway through Panguitch, and then through Junction, which then goes through Marysville and then reconnects to I-70. So this is a unique pathway.
Yeah, I'd be used to seeing maybe bigger vehicles, SUVs or campers or something else taking the scenic route, but, typical, is it a four-door, I think it is, sedan? You're right. It might just register with someone. Oh, unusual. There's a California plate or a New York plate. Okay, real quickly, I only have a second left here, but she apparently using cash along the way. That's just got to be... I'm so frustrated, Jason, by this, because to me, if you're using cash, it means you're staying under the radar. If you're switching your wig, if you're switching your plates, you're trying to stay hidden. Why would this judge have let her out with an ankle monitor?
Well, that's what we don't know, right? Just because the court ruled on that, the state has a right to object if this was a request by a would-be defendant, or if time lapsed on them where the court had to release them. Either way, it's on their own accord. If it was designed that way, maybe they want her to flee somewhere to kind of lead police where to look next.
Jason Jensen, good to have you. Looking forward to the next visit. I hope you'll come back again.
Sure will. Thanks, Ashlee.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.